Did you ever want to go to war, but just have it a little bit more funky? Hello everybody, it's Scott here, and we are playing through Trance Tank. It's available on iOS, and I'm currently playing through on my iPhone. Now in this game, we are controlling a tank, and we are jumping across chasms, we are blasting our way through obstacles, and we are not just driving on the battlefield, it's also the soundtrack that is driving. There is this techno beat synth soundtrack going on in the background that really helps to pop things along. It's got this minimalist aesthetic. As you can see, there's only a few different colors here. So if you enjoy controlling a tank, but you're sick of all of the gunmetal grays and the drabness of invading, I don't know, war-torn Germany or the Soviet plains of destruction, well, here you go. You can do it on this black and white cutout with just a few different colors. You can have this synthetic soundtrack playing in the background. It's all good, it's all popping, and we've just got through to level 2. So basically, the way that we control it is, on the right side of the screen, we tap to fire. And on the left side of the screen, we tap to jump. So I'm going to tap now, and we jump. We clear a huge amount there. But we can also turn in the air as well. If we hold down the jump button, we are able to revolve. And it takes a little bit of... yeah, there's a little bit of finesse to it. And it can be a little bit random at times, because sometimes it does a full revolution. Other times it only does it partially, even though you're still holding down the button. Also, there are some gaps which seem too difficult to actually cross. Sometimes it doesn't jump as far as you think it would. Sometimes it jumps further. It can be a little bit tricky to get the hang of. Not necessarily, I don't think it's a skill issue, but because there's some hidden mechanics that aren't really explained, I think. Anyway, see, that's a bit of a shame. I didn't clear that. Anyway, game over. We're back to the menu screen. This is a paid game. You have to purchase it if you want to play it. And when you do, you get the full experience. This is what the menu looks like. We are going through, and what I believe is if we collect enough jerry cans of fuel, we'll be able to unlock these different tanks. You can see 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. That's what I think is going to happen if we collect. We got 350, as you can see in the top right. So I'm just going to jump in and do it again. Now, it does take a little while to load up. If you download this game and you think, oh, what's happening? Why isn't it loading? When you press play, it does just take a little time to load up. So just remember that. But we're jumping in again, and we just have to get through as far as we can. Now, I have to say, if you're a fan of these games of just clearing the chasms, getting as far as you can, a little bit of progress, a little bit of, oh, let's do some revolutions and stuff, then yeah, this is great. But what I would say is, it gets very samey very quickly. Yeah, the soundtrack is really cool to listen to. Yeah, the background aesthetics, all the different colors and such, it's a nice look to it. But you don't get any points for trick jumps. You don't get any sort of, accolades, any sort of rewards for actually doing all of this stuff. You're just going through. And so the turning in the air, it doesn't really seem to be needed. In fact, it's more of a hindrance than anything, because you end up finding yourself just flat on your back, like without you realizing. Then you just have to turn in order to get back on track. It does a little bit of damage if you land on your head. I'm talking about tanks as if they're humans, but no, you know what I mean. If you land upside down as a tank, you do some damage. And then you have to go through and make sure you collect the floating hearts that go past in order to make sure you don't get destroyed. You can see at the top left of the screen, that's how many fuel cans we got. That's how much fuel we have. And the bar, which, oh, now I've just been destroyed going over the dragon's teeth. The bar was how much health you have. So you have to make sure to keep collecting the hearts in order to not get depleted, or don't run into the barriers that you can easily blast through. But as I say, once you're back into it, it is pretty much just this. So as I say, if you are a fan of these type of games where you make progress, where you are trying to beat your high score, then yeah, definitely this might be a good game for you to play. But if you're looking for something with just a little bit more to it, maybe something with a reward system, maybe something to actually justify why there are these mechanics in place, then this may not be the game for you. Because as I say, I'm currently doing jumps, I'm currently doing flips. Not needed. not really needed. Like, I've done a full revolution there, but what was the purpose? There wasn't one. There really wasn't one. So anyway, I've explained about the game. Let's just go through and see how we do. Okay, so here's a heart right here. Now, can we clear this gap? I think we can. We're still on level 1. It was level 2 that we're into the Dragon's Teeth, but we're going over here. That's absolutely fine. Now we're just going to jump over these floating platforms. And what I'm hoping is it's just enough so I just clip. There we go. Beautiful. We go spinning over here, blast through there. But unfortunately, I only got 70 points in that game. Over. Let's jump in again. You can choose which tank you want to play as by just clicking on it. It doesn't actually show that you've clicked on it. So I'm just tapping and then going to press play. If a little box were to appear to say, oh yeah, you've highlighted this one, that would probably be a little bit better, because at the moment it doesn't really seem that you're actually doing anything. But anyway, we're back into it. Level 1. Let's see if we can get to level 2. Okay. So I'm blasting through. We get rid of these. Now, these little spires that are popping up of light, I'm not entirely sure what they are. I thought maybe they were indications of where I've jumped in the past, but I don't think that's true, because I've jumped a lot more. And there we go, and I've fallen back down. Ah, goodness. Okay, let's jump back in again. Let's jump back in again and see how we do. My high score is 280. That's what we're trying to beat. I don't know if we're actually going to do that, but let's just carry on and go through. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what these sort of flares of polygons are. There's no explanation as to what they are. It doesn't seem to do any damage when I go over them, because you can look at the health bar right now. See, no damage, no change in the health bar, neither positive nor negative, just going over it. So, okay, let's just carry on through and jump over here. I want to see if I can get those 1,000 fuel points. Each jerry can is worth either 50 or 100. So you can raise your total pretty quickly, but as long as you make sure to jump, but don't get caught short by falling down a hole, then you'll be able to get to that 1,000 goal, or the 3,000 if you're going for the higher end stuff. But right now we're on 800. Okay, some floating platforms. 1 and 2. See, this is the problem. I only did a light touch, but you can't control how far you jump. And so I've just been destroyed. Okay, there we go. Folks, this has been a look at Trance Tank. Let me know down below. What do you think? Will you be having a go at this? Are you a fan of these minimalist aesthetic games? And what do you think of the control system? Is this something that you can vibe with? Let us know in the comments below. But for now, my friends, luck and much you all, and catch you next time.